Shah of Kotak AMC. The penultimate day of the SIP day, and of course tomorrow, remember, it's a packed house at the Bombay Stock Exchange when we get you a slew of discussions, some key market voices talking about all, but it all starts with the man on your screen, Nilesh. Nilesh, you know, fabulous concept. I remember it all started with a tweet, didn't it, Nilesh, that the government should have something called as an SIP day, and now thankfully the two of us, so to say, or I mean the two organizations have started it, the SIP day. Now, what can investors expect tomorrow, Nilesh? I mean, tell us what this SIP day will be all about.
So the genesis of SIP day came from a Valentine day. It wasn't a concept in India when I was growing up, and today it's a fashionable thing, it's an in thing, and if you don't celebrate Valentine Day, it's a disaster. Now, somewhere I want to make SIP Day as popular as Valentine Day, and I want to pose a question to people. Will your love life be impressed by a bunch of red roses, an expensive box of Cadbury, a candlelight dinner, or she will be impressed with one red rose, one normal dinner, one normal dessert, and at the end of a reasonable amount of journey, a sparkling diamond set? This is all possible if you save from your Valentine Day spending and invest in an SIP into equity fund over a longer period of time. I'm sure you will be able to buy a sparkling diamond set for your love life. And we want to make SIP Day popular with investors like this. We have momentum behind us. There are now more than 1 crore Indians who do SIP in equity mutual funds. And I think the potential is 25 crore. The way Valentine Day concept started and it became popular, I'm sure by the time my career ends, we'll have SIP Day becoming more popular than Valentine Day.
Trying to create perhaps sow the seeds of love for SIP Day, and that's quite a well-intended move, Nilesh, because systematic investment planning is the way forward to create wealth, and who doesn't want to create wealth in the market? That's right. What's the agenda then? What's the plan with tomorrow's extensive coverage on and detailing of how prudent investing can be done and wealth can be created through mutual fund investments?
So essentially what we have planned all over the country is a login day for SIP. We have been receiving fairly encouraging participation from our distribution fraternity. Hopefully tomorrow we'll log in few thousands of SIPs. The second thing which we are trying to do is to ensure that our distributor fraternity goes to the customers and explains the benefit of SIP. The target here is not the guys who are already doing SIP or who are familiar with mutual fund, but to go to those set of investors who haven't yet ventured into SIP and equity mutual fund. It's more of an investor education initiative to bring that 24 crore set of people who are not yet invested into mutual fund and who badly needs SIP. And throughout the day, all the kind of questions, doubts, queries which they will have, we would love to answer that on your platform. And hopefully this will create a momentum whereby more and more people will become educated and aware about their need of making investment, of getting converted from saver to be an investor. And hopefully this will result into fresh set of investors participating into equity mutual funds and SIP journey, and the existing set of investors increasing their allocation in SIP.
Nilesh, and I'm sure we'll have a lengthy discussion tomorrow as well and talk about all of this, but we putting out some fun facts as well. All across, I think both me, Tanveer, and a lot of our viewers have heard that if you invested an X amount into Wipro in 1981, it became X crores, etc. I mean, even if you don't have that stock picking ability, if you make a simple committed SIP investment, it has the potential of creating massive amounts of wealth, right? I mean, we had that number on the screen as well.
Absolutely. Now, everyone can't be Sachin Tendulkar, but to become number one test team, you don't require all the Sachin Tendulkars in the team. If you have it, great, but that kind of miracle doesn't happen. Even if you have 10 other average players and one Sachin Tendulkar, that's more than sufficient to make you wealthy. It's the discipline which creates wealth rather than, hitting every ball for a 4 and a 6. If you can hit balls for a 4 and a 6, great. But if you can't, then just the disciplined investment is going to create enough value, enough wealth for you through a systematic investment plan. That's the message we want to pass to the investors. Keeping your money in fixed income, keeping your money in bank deposits, keeping your money in gold, keeping your money in cash. These are all various ways of savings. But the way to invest is through systematic investment plan in equity mutual fund for an ordinary investor who is not aware with the intricacies and nitty-gritties of equity market.
Yeah, and Nilesh, it just boils down to being prudent with your money for investors at large and for people at large looking at the markets, and getting into the habit of investing. So it's about really discipline on that front, and which is what perhaps the SIP day would also highlight, the power of compounding, because like a lot of people in India invest in fixed deposits at regular intervals, SIP is pretty much the same as your money going on a monthly basis into a mutual fund scheme.
Absolutely. If we see the Western world, especially American market, the 401k plans have ensured that large portion of their population becomes owner of American and global equities. That 401k brought the discipline of investing in equity. It brought the discipline of making savings to convert into equity. In India, we have Provident Fund definitely on the lines of 401k, and even though the asset allocation there was biased towards fixed income for a long period of time, now they have started experimenting with equity. But Provident Fund reaches out to very small fraction of employees in the organized sector. There is a huge amount of population which is into self-employed, which is into professional businesses, and for them we need to create something similar to 401k or something similar to retirement kitty via Provident Fund. SIP gives them that opportunity. Every month from your regular income, something will get removed, it will get invested, and if you remain invested for a long period of time, then every drop counts, and ultimately your ocean of retirement kitty will get built over there.
Before we wrap up though, I know we have to thank, and I decided that, but just a quick thing. For anybody who comes into the venue tomorrow, which is the Bombay Stock Exchange, how does he stand to benefit? A quick 30-second response there, Nilesh.
It's probably his luckiest day in terms of how to become wealthy. 25 years down the line, he'll thank that yes, he made investment for tomorrow to visit BSC.
Visit the BSC, start an SIP, and start your journey towards wealth creation.
Visit BSC only tomorrow. Tomorrow is the SIP day. Then you can visit whenever you feel like. But tomorrow is the SIP day, and you'll be catching all the action from the Bombay Stock Exchange right here.
Yes, and Nilesh Shah will be there to advise all our viewers as well. Nilesh, thanks so much for joining in today, and
thank you.
And being with us on this wonderful journey for retail investors towards wealth creation. See you tomorrow, Nilesh.
Thank you.
Okay, that's a bit of a curtain raiser, if you will, towards what we've been speaking about for the last few days, the SIP day. It will be a massive day, and we'll be bringing it live for tomorrow. This is, of course, all these guests will be joining us tomorrow to talk about a bunch of things. I mean, we'll be breaking the myths about investing in a special panel discussion about 12 noon with Gaurav and a couple of other experts as well. A bit later on in the show, of course, a bit later on in the day, of course, at about 2:20, Pratik Agarwal, Harsha Upadhyay, as well as Hiren Ved would be joining in to speak about the future of investing as well, not just from an SIP perspective, but also from an investment perspective, and a couple of other panel discussions lined up as well. So be there, either in front of your TV or at the Bombay Stock Exchange. Well, as Hiren Ved would be joining in to speak about the future of investing as well, not just from an SIP perspective, but also from an investment perspective, and a couple of other panel discussions lined up as well. So be there, either in front of your TV or at the Bombay Stock Exchange.
Systematic investment plans are like seeds. They may be small at first, but with time, they will subsequently grow and bear fruit. Similarly, the more time you spend in the markets, the more beneficial it is for your investments, because you get the benefit of compounding returns. Invest in SIPs regularly. Choose the smart way to create your wealth. Kotak Mutual Fund presents SIP Day, an initiative with ETNow. To know more, join us on 26th August at BSE Auditorium. Register on www.sipday.in. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully. India's population is savvy and modern. From the lowest to the highest income group, all want to have a better living. Fire Brigade, they are counted as saviors. They actually fight with fire, protecting people's lives and property. What about their own safety and investments? Kotak Mutual Fund realizes the utmost need to make people financially literate with a unique initiative of SIP Day.
After the session, they are so sure that they want to do, especially the SIP and term policy. मुझे इधर बहुत अच्छा सीखने को मिला कि किधर-किधर अपना इन्वेस्टमेंट करना चाहिए, वो फ्यूचर प्लानिंग के लिए बेनिफिट हो सकता है.
किस तरीके से इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है वो अभी मैडम ने बताया. किस हिसाब से हम पैसे को जमा करेंगे और किस तरीके से वो कन्वर्ट होता है, कंपाउंड तरीके से बढ़ता है.
An initiative to change people's perception towards investments. Kotak Mutual Fund presents SIP Day, an initiative with ETNow.